Okay, there's no backup on this SC Plus, just create new. Okay, so every time when the service guys or even the programmers actually do, they will just create new. So there's actually two ways of doing backup. Okay, so either you do a backup from the browser, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, so I actually have my backup ready. Okay, so actually it's actually stored automatically in my downloads. Okay, or you can actually export it out if you don't want to save it on your laptop, right? You want to keep it in a certain category or whatever, you can also export the backup. If someone have already previously done a backup already, you can just export it out as well. Okay, so after that, right, you can actually save it somewhere else, or you can actually schedule a backup also. So you can actually do a weekly backup as well if you want to do a schedule backup. Okay, then if you have a SC that you want to restore, for example, one of the SC spoiled, right? Then you can do the restore. Okay, so you have to choose where to restore your backup from. So you have to browse from here. Okay, so for example, just now we did a download, right? You save a downloads. So you actually have a backup file, you route it, then you select it. Okay, then you restore. Okay, or if you have actually an SD card, then you actually restore it from an SD card. That's one method of doing backup in SD. The other method you can do is from your TU. Okay, so once you're connected to your TU, right, on your SC, right, whatever controllers that you have, okay, installed, right, you'll be able to access it from here. Okay, so you can actually access your UC600 from your SC itself. Okay, you need not go to the field site and access your UC600 locally once it's installed in the SC. Okay, so just click and then you'll go in. Okay, so I'm coming back to my SC. So how do you do backup? Okay, there's actually this backup utility, right? Just click on this. Okay, then you just select where you want to save this file to. Okay, for example, I want to save it to my desktop. Okay, so you just click on save, then you proceed to next, and then you press start. Okay, so just let the system do its own job of backing up. So that's the second method of doing a backup. But of course, you can't take the version that you have actually done in your browser view to restore inside here because they are of different formats. Okay, so backups that you do from your TU itself is this .zip format. Okay, so once we are done, we just click finish. So this is actually the backup file that we have. We can look at the desktop. Okay, so this is the file that we just extracted out, right? Okay, so that's how it looks like in TU format. But for the browser format, it's in this .tgx. Okay, so you cannot restore a .tgx to through the TU to your SC, okay? Because when you want to restore it in TU, right, restore backup, you go to file transfer. Just now we did backup using backup utility. When you want to restore, you do file transfer. Okay, you cannot choose the TGZ format to restore in your TU. Okay, it's different formats. If you want to restore a TGZ format, right, you have to go back to your browser and do a restore from here. If you have a zip, then you do it from your TU. Okay, so that's two different versions of backup. Okay, both ways are backup, so it doesn't matter which one you do, or if you are very kiasu, like myself, I probably do two kinds of backups. Okay, so that's one way of doing backup. So if you have Assemble itself, right, Assemble can also do backups. Okay, you can also run examples. You can run backups from Assemble itself. Okay, you can actually do SC backup and UC backup from there as well. Okay, so that's one of the new feature of the slightly newer versions of Assemble. Okay, you can actually do backup from Assemble itself. The older versions of ES, right, like very very old one, like 4 point something, or even the 5 point earlier 5 versions, right, you can't do SC and UC backups from the Assemble itself. Okay, that on the old ES lah. Only the newer versions I saw the feature being available. You can actually run the backups from there. That's on your ES. So basically that's backups. Yeah, so we have come to the end of